All right, we're at an exciting point in time where it feels like the market is about to skyrocket. And what is leading it? Of course, it's going to be meme coins. That's where all the action is being had. That's where all the fun is had. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a guide, 3-phase guide on how to trade meme coins with DEX Screener, because there's a lot of people making a lot of money. Let me actually show you. Let me get you excited before we start. You can see this is called Landwolf on Solana. If I go in and sort by top traders, you can see the top 3 traders made $1 million US trading this. And then $500,000, a bunch of people making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is not rare. A lot of people are doing this, and if you know what to look for, which I can't guarantee you I know exactly what to look for, but I can guarantee I'll nudge you in that right direction so you can identify these tokens that are going to do really well. This is another one, a recent one from just yesterday when the big events went down with Donald Trump. You can see that this token came out. It's already at a $12 million market cap. If you go to top traders here, you can see that people have made tens of thousands of dollars in just a day, and that's US dollars. I don't know where you live, but that's an extra 50% on top of that here for Australian dollars, which is always handy. And so before I do show you this 3-phase thing, just also know that it's not a sure thing. If you come into DEX Screener and sort it by losses, you can see that a lot of things lose money very quickly. This is one of the most risky things you could possibly do, which high risk, high reward. The 10% of people who know what they're doing are going to make a lot of money, and the bottom 90% are going to be feeding all their money to the top 10% of people. So make sure you are getting educated, such as watching this video. All right, so let's get into the 3 phases that I've researched and personally used to get into good trades, and then we're going to be making a trade together live. So let's start by coming to DEX Screener. If you don't know what DEX Screener is, it's basically like a degenerate version of CoinMarketCap, where CoinMarketCap will go and tell you the prices and changes of tokens. DEX Screener is going to pull them as soon as their smart contracts have been made and they're live on the blockchain. So you're getting the tiny tokens, which CoinMarketCap basically wait until they're into the hundreds of thousands or millions before they actually pull all that data. Now, I do have a video going over Moonshot, which makes it very easy for you to launch your own token. However, in this video, I actually find there's a lot more success to be had on the Solana blockchain. So immediately we're going to jump into phase 1, which is filtering out all the terrible options. So the first thing I do to filter is click on Solana. And now you'll see that all of these tokens are Solana tokens. You can see this is the Radium logo here, which is the DEX where Solana tokens are traded. Now by default, they're going to be sorting by trending in the last 6 hours, which is a lot of tokens that have already run up a lot, or a lot of, just riff-raff tokens that have slipped their way in through the cracks. So we are going to come over here and click on filters, because this is going to be able to make us shape these results. So we're only getting lists of tokens that we think are going to be doing really well. Now, I want to start by putting liquidity at $10,000. Oh, 10,000 US dollars there. For some reason that was harder than it needed to be, which means there's actually liquidity in there, so you can trade in and out of these tokens without it being liquidity like at $1,000 where you'll make a sale and it'll crash the entire price, or someone else will make a sale or crash the entire price of the token. You want to make sure there's liquidity so that price fluctuations aren't crazy when people are selling, and also there's liquidity so you can get out if you want to take profit. Now in pair age, I think it's really good to be trading tokens that are not that old, not that mature. You don't want something that's 7 days old, although it may do well. I think the way at least I'm interested in trading is trading the pairs that are just coming onto the market. So you can put in something like 4 hours, 5 hours here, even down to 2 hours, depending on what sort of results you're getting. You can adjust it up and down. I'm going to start with 5 hours in here. And then this is the most important one, and I actually saw this from another YouTuber. I'll link him up in the description below. I used to put 5-minute transactions, which is how many transactions have happened on these meme coins in the last 5 minutes. But if we think about it, someone could just be pumping their own transactions, 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent transactions. There could be 1,000 transactions, which looks really good on the surface, but it's just the guy waiting for you to take the bait, buy in, and then he's going to rug it. And so he's going to be padding that data. The one that I thought was really interesting was the 5-minute volume down here, which is way smarter, and about $10,000 apparently is the best recommended there. You can put it up or down depending on how many results you get back, but I thought that was actually quite genius, because it's hard to fake $10,000 of buys and sells in your own token without actually having, well, it's impossible without actually having to buy and sell the token. So it gets rid of all the fluff that we don't want to be investing in, all the not all the scams, I should definitely not say all the scams, most of the scams that are going to pull liquidity or rug on you. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to come into rank by, and it's going to show you what it is being sorted by, what this list is being sorted by. I want to come down to pair age so we can see the new tokens at the top, the ones that are most degenerate, but again, we've got these filters in, so they're going to have to be somewhat legitimate and potentially for buying in. Now, I actually want you to see something. So this is a little bit of a step back from the 3 phases that I was about to go through, but it's very interesting because I'm thinking of putting together a how to create your own meme coin. Because yesterday with the events that went down with Trump, it was very interesting because I even had the same idea. You hear about the event and the first thing that goes to like a crypto trader's mind is, oh, there's going to be a meme coin about that. And what's interesting is in my head, I'm like, oh, there's already going to be dozens of meme coins about that and they're going to absolutely fly. And so I didn't even come over to DexGrin. I didn't even check. I'm just like very interested in what was happening in the news. And then I came back to DexGrin a bit later and saw that hours after I was looking into the actual event, there were meme coins that absolutely flew into the tens of $20 million market cap level. And I'm like, it's such an easy game. When I was younger, like 17, 18, what we used to do is we used to watch TV and then make a Facebook page about whatever was trending on that TV show. And Facebook would share that with all their audience, and anyone watching that TV show would join into this group and you could talk about the show inside the group. And we had groups with over 1 million people. Now it seems to be the same idea, but whatever is trending out there, and I pulled up Twitter trending here. Now this is in Australia because that's where I am at the moment. You can see Trump's VP. Trump just chose his VP, which is Vance. I think it's JD or JD Vance. This is him up here. Republicans, so a lot of politics. You got MasterChef AU, some cooking, some Secret Service. Obviously, the events that went down yesterday at the time I'm recording it. But you can come and see what the trends are, and it will very closely match up with what the new tokens are. You can see Pepe Vance, I thought was actually a very interesting one, which has bounced back since I've been looking at getting into it, which is JD Vance as Pepe. It's Make America Green Again or something. Yeah, I was actually checking it out down there just a second ago. So you can see how quick these tokens turn around or will crash, which is why people love this. It's way more exciting than waiting for a 1 billion market cap meme to turn into a 3 billion market cap meme once retail arrives. You know, this is instant. You get feedback in literally seconds or minutes. And so that final thing in this filter phase is to figure out what the meta is, or what the narrative is, or what the trends are at the moment, and what coins are currently doing well, because they're likely to very much continue in that day compared to someone starting an old outdated dog coin that, you know, people are sort of over, or the old meta used to be misspelling famous people's names. That's basically over too. So make sure you're knowing the pulse of the market and seeing what's trending and what people are getting into. Okay, so we've applied our filter, and now we get to vet these tokens individually to see which one that we personally think is going to do the best, and then we're going to buy into it together. So let's go into the personal vetting. I've sorted once again by pair age, so the newest pairs are at the top, which is where we're going to start, because ideally if you see something that's really good, something that's really trendy, a strong meme that's on narrative, you want it to just be created in order for you to get in at the lowest price possible. So we can start at the top here, and I'm going to go through a quick checklist with you. First of all, I'm going to say Bandage stays on. Let's take a look at this one. So it's at a $214,000 market cap. The first thing you need to check is that the token is fully diluted. If it's not fully diluted, well, then you're going to have inflation coming into the market. It's very likely going to be a scam. While you're over here, you want to make sure that the liquidity is locked. You'll see a padlock here with a green circle. The green circle being fully complete means that liquidity is totally locked, and the developer of the smart contract who created this token can't come in and pull all the liquidity and steal it for himself. It means it's actually he's lost the keys to liquidity, and it's in the smart contract, and now anyone can buy and sell at any time. You may want to come down and double check the volume down here. Even though we already applied the filter, it's helpful to come in and have a look. And what I like to do personally to sort out this chart is view it on the 5-minute chart, or even the 1-minute chart if it's really early and really new, like this one might be here. Pretty degenerate. No one's doing Fibonacci, at least that I'm aware of, sequences or technical analysis on something of a chart this short in time frame. But the big thing that I personally like to do is, like, we don't really care what the price of the token is. We kind of more prefer to see what the market cap of the token is, because the market cap, psychologically, people are going to be like, oh, we'll get out at 100K, we'll get out at 500K, we'll get out at 1 million. These are the milestones in people's mind where they're going to be buying and selling, and they don't really care if it's priced at 0.026 or even $26. It doesn't really matter. So market cap is also universal, so I will always sort my sheet by that. And the other thing that I've personally learned and discovered in my research, and I think it's probably the most important factor, when I'm trying to trade a meme coin, and there's no volume. There's no people buying or selling. It doesn't really matter if it is buying or selling. There's no action. You can see these, because this is such a new token, you can see people are buying in and selling really quickly. So this is all 13, 14 seconds ago. And there's a decent, obviously the decent amount of volume here. And we made sure with our filter there was going to be $10,000 of volume over the last 5 minutes. If there's no volume, there's no action, price action up or down, and I would say the token is dead. So you can see the volume here is slowly trending down, which isn't ideal. But to turn your volume on, go up to indicators, search for volume, and it's just this one right here. We'll turn on and off the amount of volume that's actually been trading through those tokens. Another thing that's critical to check is coming into the holders, because you can see this here is a liquidity pool. They have 11% of the token supply. So you have a certain amount of token supply, and this person here has the most tokens. He has $8,400 worth of these tokens, which is 34 million tokens, and 3.42% of the token supply this one wallet is holding, which is not bad. What you definitely don't want to see here is coming in and seeing people holding 20, 30% of the tokens, because they can sell in an instant and crash this entire thing basically to zero. You want to make sure you come in here and see that the funds are well distributed. And the other thing that's important is making sure that there's not a bunch of wallets holding the same percent of the supply, because what people do is they know that people are going to come in and make sure that there's no wallet holding 20, 30% of the supply. But what if they broke it up over 20 wallets and each wallet had exactly 1% of the supply? So you want to come down here, and if you see a bunch of wallets with the same percentage supply, this has 2, maybe 3 wallets here, which might be something you can go and investigate further if you want. But normally they'll separate that over like about 10 wallets. So if you see that, that's normally a red flag and means that they're probably going to rug the project, or at least be selling in those wallets, trying not to be identified as selling. And then while you are in here in the holders, and you can refresh, because I'm not sure if that actually refreshes up to date. I think you have to hit the actual refresh button to get the updated holders. You can see how many holders are actually in there. And you, of course, want to see the more holders, the more stable that token is, and the less likely that someone's going to be able to crash it really quickly. All right, so this is Bandage Stays On, which is another one of the Trump memes. It is only 18 minutes old. It's already at almost 200K market cap. It's got a decent amount of locked liquidity. It's been trending up and down, but the volume is dying is the real reason I'm not loving this one. Although you can see people are coming in and buying and selling it. And I mean, this is where the fun is, guys, because it's like, look at all these people. It's a zero-sum game. Everyone's trying to out-trade each other, and you have to be smarter than everyone else. But there's actually price action here, and it's instantaneous. And this, to me, makes me feel like I never want to go to a casino and play roulette or blackjack again, because if you can just get good enough at out trading these traders and knowing what you're looking for and identifying their good tokens, like you saw in these examples, which this is not rare, this happens every single day. There's people making 7 figures inside of Dex Screener using various strategies. If you get good at it, you can make a lot of money. So let's go back to our shortlist here and see if we can find one that we want to buy and sell together, because just in case you don't know, I'll show you how to buy and sell. Okay, there is one more thing actually I didn't point out. Inside of Dex Screener, people can pay for a header and their socials to pop up here. And there's a little bit of delay on this. Now, everyone who's buying and selling likes to see that people have paid. I think it costs $300 to actually put that up there. And one, it looks a lot better and invites a lot more people to trade. But also it means that you put $300 towards the project, and therefore you're less likely to rug and be a little bit more committed long term. The other couple of factors that people use is, do you have a Twitter and are you actively tweeting? A lot of them are going to look like this. Don't let this be a don't buy. Especially because these projects are literally 10 minutes old. You can't expect them to have a 20,000 Twitter followers. But what actually does happen is Dex Screener has a little bit of lag from when people actually buy this header and these social buttons up here to when it goes up. So you can come over to something called checkdex.xyz, and you can copy paste the contract address. So if we come back to Sendors, which is the one that we were just looking at, and we come down to the Sendors contract address down here, we can come back to CheckDex, paste it in there, and we've got to clear it. Check if it's paid. No donation unless you want to donate, and you can see they have paid for it. Obviously, they've paid for it because it's already in place over here. But if we can come back to see someone who doesn't, say Donnie doesn't have it, you can see there's no header up here. We can see if it's coming in or not, which, funny enough, it does sound small, but a lot of people look for this, and a lot of people will buy in if they do have this compared to if they don't. So you can see this is not paid for Donnie. It's not coming in. So it's unlikely to be a little bump based on that. Okay, so this is now all down to personal preference. I'm going to be buying a token right here with you just to show you how to actually buy it. I'm going to be using BonkBot, which is a Telegram bot, to facilitate the trade once I find one that I like. So I don't want anything that has market caps into the millions, because that just seems like they're playing with liquidity and numbers to try and fake it. It's only 11 minutes old. I personally like things under the 100k market cap, which is full degen mode. A lot of people like to buy into this sort of 200 to 500 level to hopefully have it go up to a 2.6 mil, because market cap, guys, is where you're going to be making money. If you're looking for a 10x and you can get in at a 265 and then sell it at a 2.6, you have 10x your money. That's where a lot of people play. I'm a little bit more degen, even I'm just looking for like a quick 2x. I sound like some form of addict over here. But if I can get something like the Cendors to go from 69k up to 130k or 140k, you know, that's a quick 2x that you can make a sol or two on, which could even be a good way to start. What I do highly recommend is, if you are new to this, there are a lot of traders who do know what they're doing, probably outtrade you unless you are a just giant gigabrain who is a natural at this. I would highly recommend just coming in and using a tiny amount of money, $10, $20, whatever is basically nothing to you, just to learn the ropes. See if you can get a 2x, see if you can get a 10x, see how many you can not lose your money on. But it is sort of like mining for gold. You're going to be looking for the 10x's, looking for the 20x's, and okay at losing your 90% of your money in 3 or 4 other projects. So let's have a look together. So Much Higher is at a 29k market cap. So it looks like it's based on Solana. So it looks like the volume is dying, and it's got some big red candles, which, you know, that doesn't mean it's not profitable. You can come in here and scoop up lows. You can see it's already 2x'd from its all-time low. A lot of people wait for that massive crash, because a lot of these do crash. They buy in there and they get a quick 2x. I actually did that very recently on a Trump token. About an hour ago, I got a quick 2x on a Trump token. That was at a 10 mil market cap, and it crashed down to about a 300k. I think the devs sold a lot. I'm like, oh, there doesn't seem to be much downside here. So I just bought in with a sol, and it was an enjoyable experience. Okay, so we have this one, Trump Pepe, coming in, which is 1 minute. It's within the meta. Liquidity is not locked. You can see that this is going to rug pretty instantly. So we're going to get the hell out of there before we lose money. American Lion just comes in with a 91k market cap. Again, liquidity not locked. Let's make sure we don't buy into any of those. High Ape was the one with the 11 mil. Bandage stays on. So you can see we don't have crazy amounts of options at the moment. And so you could sit and wait for a better option. But I'm going for this video to force us to buy something interesting. There's Donny, which is a dog. Again, going on the Trump narrative, there seems to be some strange market manipulation here with these 1 cent buys. People are getting in. The liquidity is locked. The volume is going down, but 1.8 mil volume is impressive. They have a website, a Twitter, a Telegram. 1 hour, 15 minutes old. It'd be interesting to keep an eye on, but it is at almost $1 million market cap, which is a little bit high normally for me. Honestly, Pepe Vance, I keep getting pulled back to Pepe Vance. The volume is slowly dying, but it is there. At a 43k market cap, I've been watching this go all the way up and all the way down. It looks like some sells are coming at the moment. I think we should go ahead and have a buy of this one. What are all these $31 ones at the same time? They're different people, okay. So it doesn't seem to be a bot. So to trade this one, you can actually just copy the whole URL of the page and come over to something called BonkBot. So BonkBot is a buy and sell tool. You can move money into it. I'll let you set up your own BonkBot if you don't have one. There's a bunch of other Telegram bots that you can actually use. But you can come back to home here and then click buy. You can simply just paste in the deck screen a link. You don't need the contract address specifically, although that does work. You can see Pepe Vance, market cap 27k, which I do really like. It's a very strong pullback. The volume is dying slowly, so we want to hope that we can get in and out before the volume totally dies. We don't want this to crash off the roof, but we want this to have a little bit of a pullback here. So you can see swap failed. All right, so unfortunately, the token we wanted wouldn't actually work on BonkBot. I actually don't know why, question marks for me there. I found another one called Mitzi. It's had a couple of big crashes. I don't think it's a fantastic looking token, but I want to show you how the functionality works. And the volume here is there for me, which I was excited by. So it's a little, I don't even know what sort of animal that is. Beaver, bear, baby bear, squirrel. something. Cutest animals in the world, part dog, part wallaby. Okay, so there we go. Now we don't need to buy into it too much. I don't think it's going to do crazy well. It's at 94k market cap. Liquidity is locked. You pull it into BonkBot by copy pasting the URL that you're on here on Dex Screener. Pull up BonkBot again, and you can see I've already just bought a little bit of it because I was testing it to make sure we could buy it. Okay, for some reason, BonkBot does not want me to show you how to use it at the moment. It's playing up way more than ever, but this is what I personally use, so I'm going to stick to it and just show you, even if it doesn't go through, how it works. We're pasting in the Dex Screener link directly, and it's going to make sure it pulls up the right smart contract address here, Mitzi. Now, there is a couple of checks it goes through, which is actually interesting because it's good to know that they can actually mint more tokens or freeze your money, which doesn't mean don't buy, but it means be careful. And then you can come in and buy however many Solana worth you want. We can just click on 0.2 Sol. I don't think it's actually going to go through at the moment. Swap failed, which is happening. We did get one of these through earlier. But you can see when the Solana is less congested, it's going to go through quite seamlessly. I think we got the buy at about here at about a 60k market cap. So we're doing well so far. I don't expect this to do incredibly well. I'll probably go sell it as soon as I can. But at least you can set up your own BonkBot if you're not using it already, or any other Telegram bot. I'm not affiliated with any of them, or don't make commission when you use any of them. So go choose the one you want, learn how to use it, and then you can start trading meme coins immediately. If you'd like to get our completely free crypto newsletter, where we give you all the latest trends in the market, what's happening, opportunities for you to make money, make sure you use the first link in the description below to sign up. Completely free. We'll be emailing you all those trends and opportunities 5 times a week. Nice, brief, easy, friendly, fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.